Hi everybody, welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, my name is Gail. I'm a registered nurse, a family nurse practitioner, but also a nurse educator. Today we're going to discuss a critical issue that many new grads face that are often overlooked, which is being bullied as a new grad nurse. Bullying can significantly impact your career, your mental health, and your overall health. When I started as a new grad registered nurse, I encountered a lot of challenges, including being bullied by more experienced staff. So it's critical to address this issue and provide support for people going through this in this time. Here's my story. So there are many reasons why new grad nurse get bullied on the unit. Sometimes it's just due to the high stress on the unit or lack of education, because some of the nurses just they went through it, they're being bullied and they just think it's normal. And it's kind of crazy to think about it in 2024 that many new grad are still facing this issue on the unit. So I decided to share my story, how it happened to me and what I did to be able to find support and to move on. And if you are new here, as I said, I have a doctorate degree as a family nurse practitioner. I have a master's degree as a nurse educator, and I have a bachelor degree as a registered nurse, right? So throughout these changes, you constantly applying for new positions. So every time I have a new degree, it's like an opportunity for me to go back and apply for a new position, which most of the time exposed me to this type of experience. So I'll share with you today the story of how I was constantly bullied by experienced staff as a registered nurse. Everything started happening when I got off of orientation as a new registered nurse. During orientation, everything seems fine. The nurse who was training me seemed fine. She didn't have any issue. She didn't show that she was one of them. She was very nice to me. But as soon as I got off of orientation, it's like everything just switched. I was on my own and I was able to observe more, I guess, and see really what was happening on the unit, and I was shocked. As a baby nurse as I started working as a registered nurse when I was 22 years old. So, I was still young, entering this career. So, and I didn't know how to defend myself per se. Those are the things that school doesn't really teach you. You get the experience from life, and I want to take this off. So you get the experience from life. Life teaches you how to deal with this type of people. So everything started when I got off of orientation. What happened is the charge nurse, who was one of the bullies, she purposely assigned me the toughest patient on the unit. Again, I was off of orientation, so I assumed that I was able to care for it. However, the acuity I had on my patient were very, very, very different than other experienced nurse that shift. I started off with 6 patients. I was working day shift. It was an ortho/med surg floor, so very basic, but I started with a very heavy set of patients. One of them was a trach patient, so really total care, because to top it off, that day we didn't have any tech, so one-on-one with all our patients. On the unit, it was a very small unit. I think it was 18 to 20 beds. Patient to nurse ratio was 6:1. So on that day, I was the only nurse with 6 patients, and then the other nurses, who was way more experienced than me, had 4 or 5. I think they had 5, and each of them had to discharge 1, and they're supposed to get 2 admission. And that's why the charge nurse thought it was a good idea to give them those patients to get 2 admission instead of me getting 2 admission. They just gave me patients that were there for a long time, I guess. So I had the 6 patients, and that trach patient was very, I really needed to care for them. So I was spending a lot of time there. I was running behind with my med pass. I asked them for help. This is where it started getting funny, because as I was running around on the unit trying to pass my med and care for this patient, because he was constantly on the call light, and I don't know if he was in pain. I can't remember, but it was, it needed me. And I started asking for help, and that's when I started seeing on the face like, girl, you on your own, don't ask me to do your job, do your own job. The saddest thing is they were at the nursing station talking and laughing. I was the only one really on the unit working, because they were done early. And again, that's when really how everything started. It started like, oh girl, welcome to day shift, things like that. So they started talking among them. They were talking about me. So it was very sad at the time. It was a weekend, so my manager wasn't there, and really nobody, I didn't had any resource like that to call, and I didn't want to be the one like, okay, I'm exposing the issue and then you're gonna go and I'll stay here dealing with these nurses again. So I was kind of quiet and trying to do my best. Imagine the med pass, the morning med pass that you're supposed to pass, I think was 9 a.m. I was literally still passing them at 11 a.m. like lunchtime, and some of them were getting insulin. They were getting mad at me like, where is my insulin? So it was a very stressful morning for me, and I didn't have any help. And then so that was day one. Something similar happened like a few weeks after, and it was with the same crew. That's how I knew something was wrong. It was with the same crew, and they purposely again gave me a heavy patient that was supposed to go to surgery. And then that patient had a bunch of medication and a lot of things to do before sending him off to OR. And literally, when you start your shift and you have like blood transfusion, things like that to do before OR. So I was asking for help, because that day again I had 6 patients when they had like 5 waiting on admissions. And I asked them for help. In that instance, one of them came trying to help me. The following day, the CNA approached me and told me, hey, be careful with this nurse, because yesterday this is what she said about you. She said something that I'm not quick, I'm always running behind, I'm always asking for help. So she told that, they were talking at the nursing station. I wasn't there that day, I was off. And then I came the following day, and that's when the CNA, who loved me, I think she's from Haiti, and we both spoke French. So we just had that special connection, and she approached me and said, hey, I know you're new here, I love you, just be careful who you ask for help, because those nurses, they're not really for you. They really want to see you sink, so I know it's hard as a new grad, especially on day shift. And she recommended me actually to switch to night shift, because she told that it will help me a little bit get my routine down and get used to the unit. And she said, be careful of the nurses out there, the one that you ask for help, you think they're helping you, but girl, they're talking about you when you're not there. I was very sad, and I didn't know, again, I didn't have any support system. I didn't have any friends, because, I think I was the youngest. All of them were a little bit older and experienced than me. And, I was just there dealing with that. And I stayed there for about 6 months, but it was just too hard to bear that I had to quit that job. And I'm sharing this story once again because I know it's a critical issue that many nurses face, and maybe nobody talked about it, or nobody have the courage to bring this issue to light. And many nurses, we see it on social media, some people just like, they can't take it and they can end their life, it's just a lot of things going on. And those nurses now, they are not well, they do it because they've been a victim, of this high stress, or maybe they're not happy in their home. So there's a lot of factors that influence a person to just come at work and behave like that. I really want us as nurses or future nurses to change this narrative. If you're going through this, make sure that you talk to a trusted person, find a support system in your unit. Don't hesitate to talk to your colleague or even your loved one at home to try to seek support, because it's so sad to deal with this on your own. And how do you know you're getting bullied? Is when you're not happy to go to work, when you're dreading to go to work. That's some of the sign that shows that you are being bullied, that your environment is hostile. you just don't want to walk, you don't want to be among them. So that's a red flag that shows that you are being bullied or you are working in a very hostile environment. It's sad to realize that as I was going through it, they were laughing, they were actually taking pleasure seeing me suffer, seeing me being under stress like that. And everything happened in one hospital, my very first hospital, where I applied as a registered nurse, and where I worked for the very first time as a registered nurse. So think about it. Like, you're literally giving an opportunity to a new grad to start the career as a registered nurse in your unit, but yet you're exposing her to all these things. So just remember that you are not alone. Many nurses have been through it, and there's always a way to overcome it. There are resources and people that can support you. So I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to be scared. Utilize employee support programs. Talk to your HR or manager. My go-to is HR because I feel like they provide the fastest support, and I've been bullied by a nurse manager before, so I just default talk to HR because that's my comfort zone. I feel like they have time to hear you better and just act fast, when they see that the environment is hostile. So I really hope that this video helps somebody out there, a registered nurse or a new grad being bullied. I hope that you are able to speak out, you find support, you find comfort watching this video. And for those of us who are already registered nurse working in the field, I hope that we change this narrative, because it cannot continue years after years. Nursing is a great profession. We're doing this, we're helping people, and it's how can you help people if your mental health or your environment is hostile? It doesn't make sense to me. So I pray that this video just touches you in a way I cannot explain, and that we'll be able to make a difference in our profession. Again, nursing is a great career, and I want everybody to experience this, to be able to imagine being able to do to people what they can never do to you. That's what nurses is. We treat these people, we spend time with them, and they're not, how can they give it back to us? Some of them get discharged and we never, most of them, if not all of them, get discharged and we never hear from them. So let's just take this time to acknowledge our profession, to make sure that we do the right thing for us and also for the patient who trust us. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like and subscribe. You join the growing family. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.